Hi, Randa Habelrih here, author, keynote speaker and founder of Mates. I'm so passionate about social inclusion that I've created a powerful keynote called Mates, and Mates is an acronym for Mates Assisting to Engage Socially. It's a proactive solution rather than a reactive solution to social exclusion and to bullying.
What we want to do is give our children a voice. We'll listen to these young people speak about themselves in their own voice.
In the most elite of industries, fashion and modelling, we're showing them that they can be a part of an elite industry. And if they can be a part of an elite industry, think what can happen in other areas of life. Is mateship as relevant today as it was back then? Yeah? For me, not so much. Why? Because I'm the mother of a child with autism. And do you know what? For 13 years, my son didn't make one friend at school, not one mate. He wasn't expected to survive, but he did. He is my biggest blessing. He's my hero. His name is Richard. He used to come home every day and say, "Mum, why am I alone at home? Or why am I alone at lunch every day?" But one day, he came home, he was so happy. He said, "Guess what, Mum? I wasn't alone today." I said, "Tell me all about it." He said, "Well, I was walking around the playground by myself, and the boys, my friends, they called my name, and they threw a pear at my head and laughed with me." So I wrote the book dealing with autism, detailing our journey, but also I don't like to present a problem without presenting a solution. And I did come up with a solution for loneliness and isolation in school, and it's called MATES. MATES is an acronym for Mates Assisting to Engage Socially. But what they do need, if you're familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, is once they've achieved the base levels of oxygen and food and water, they then need their home. The next step, before they can move any further, is they need to experience that sense of love and belonging. Teachers can bang their head against the wall trying to teach kids academics, and this applies to all children, but if they do not feel that sense of belonging, they're not going to perform. What is MATES? It's a simple concept. MATES is a simple concept. It's not rocket science. It's a school-based, peer-led social inclusion and leadership program.
Randa recently presented at a conference for our organisation called Life Start. We support children and young people with disabilities and their families. Randa was an inspiring speaker with a wealth of knowledge about autism learnt from her personal experience. She was able to transmit that to our staff in a really professional, accessible way, combining her personal experience with her real knowledge about autism and what children and young people need and what makes a difference to them in their world. We were particularly inspired by her messages about belonging and inclusion. Randa was one of the favourite speakers of our conference, and staff members commented on how powerful her presentation was, what a difference it makes to her practice, their practice going forward, how they're thinking much more about what children and young people might benefit from in everyday life, in inclusive communities, in schools, in recreation and in family life. We'd really recommend Randa as a speaker to make a difference to the way you think about the world and the way you think about including everybody in community.
Contact myself or SpeakMark to have the Mates keynote delivered at your school.